All right, we are here, Mr. Jeffrey's Algebra 2 with stats. And today we get to use our imagination because people created this math thousands of years ago to just confuse teenagers more by us having to do what's called imaginary and complex numbers. Okay, so uh, here is the definition. I know we were talking about words. Bless you. We were talking about words. Here's a little bit of words. Okay. We'll see this later. Now, this is the WWJD. What would Jeffries do? How to do these problems. Okay. And the WWJD, what would Jeffries do? That's a whole movement. There's bracelets, t shirts, lanyards, everything. Okay. I'm pretty sure my 73 subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, probably already have one. Okay. We're going to take the square root of positive form and put I in the answer. That's all we have to do with these problems right here. Okay. So, like 4, number 1, what is the square root of 4? 2. Yes, it is 2. And then we just put the I right there. Bam. It's done. Okay. All right. What is the square root of 36? And we do what? Put the I in it. And square root of 100. And we put the I. Yeah. So, and we looked at, y'all had like 2 of these on the test yesterday, and I gave some leniency on that stuff because I thought I had covered it and didn't, but it's okay. Y'all did great on the test anyways. That you we had to do this and take the I in it. Now, unfortunately, because like I think the real thing, in like all the superhero movies and stuff and comic books, there's like the evil villain. They all had to be mathematicians. They sit there and like they're watching from beyond of all these people trying to struggle with numbers and letters together, and now we have fake numbers and I don't know. All right, these are a little different. Okay, we actually used to teach this whole thing about factoring out the a perfect square, kind of like greatest common factor, but exactly, we don't have to do that anymore. Now all we have to do is use our handy dandy calculator. All right. So, like I said earlier, we're going to take the square root of the positive form, which is 18. All right, we get 3 root 2. So this is all I got to do. You ready? So I'm going to write a 3 and root 2 because that's what I got on my calculator. See it? See it? Do you see it? Do I need to move it around some more so y'all can see it? Okay. I just did the square root of 18. And I got 3 root 2. And guess what? Now all I have to do is put the I in right here. Bam. Okay. Now, believe it or not, the biggest question I had yesterday on the test was where's the square root button? Or how do you take the square root on this? And if you notice, a lot of calculators, they have different writing, like the writing in green. That means you got to hit the second button. And then this one is the x squared because that's the square root. That's how you actually get to that. Okay. So that's not that bad. All right. Now, this one, we're going to take second square root 24. All right. This is hard to do backwards, y'all. I don't know if y'all know that. Good thing I'm kind of dyslexic, so it's almost makes sense. Now, I type that in the calculator. I get 2 root 6. So I'm going to write a 2. 6. Now, I'm saying root 6. That's because that's how I was taught. You could say 2 square roots of 6. It doesn't matter. And what do we need to add? I. Yeah, and we kind of like the I to go in front of the square root sign because sometimes people will write it like this. They'll write like square root of 6 I, and they'll accidentally cover it, and that actually means this, and nobody wants that. Okay, nobody. All right. See, a lot of people just like their motherboard just totally fried on that one example. So don't do that. Okay. All right. Second square root 45. Enter. All right. I get 3 root 5. Okay. So I put a 3. I put a square root of 5. And I put a I. Yeah. So some of y'all are like, wow, this stuff seems kind of easy. Yes, that is because I am tricking y'all into a false sense of security and going to really throw something hard at you. Because, that's what teachers do, especially math teachers. Like the lesson's like 2 plus 2, and the test is like if Sarah has 85 watermelons travel on a train westbound from Detroit at 55 miles an hour, what kind of pancakes do aliens eat? So, I mean, that's what we're doing. All right. Let's look at this. Let's go to the next one. All right. Adding, subtracting. Now, when we're dealing with stuff like this, we actually treat the I like a variable. Okay. So we're actually going to combine like terms. I'm going to highlight my those. Now, some people, they have to rewrite it, which is absolutely fine. All right. Some people won't have to. All right. 8 plus 5, if you have to use your calculator or take your shoes off, unless you're my cousin and you got extra, phalanges, and that's weird. So this would be 13. All right. This is understood to be a 1. What is 4 minus 1? 3. And that's our answer. I know some of y'all are like, wait a minute. There's got to be a catch, right? Well, if you break stuff down in its basic forms, it works out for you. All right. Now, I want to do B a little bit different. Okay. This has a subtraction sign. I can say 7 minus 3. And I could go ahead and solve that. We know that one. We could go ahead and say 4. All right. Then I'm going to use a box. Yeah, 7 minus 3 is 4. All right. Now, this is negative 6I minus negative 6I. All right. Now, you've probably heard it a bajillion different ways. Depends on who you had as a teacher beforehand. Minus and negative is plus or positive, or you would say keep, change, whatever. Well, now they're opposite signs. So, yeah, this is 0. So the answer is just 4. So basically, it's kind of like if you've ever seen the Three Stooges, where they like poke each other in the eye, like both of them at the same time. It's basically there was 2 eyes in the problem. We go bloop and poke them out. And by the way, we're poking out eyes all day tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. All right. Now, number 13, or number C with this one. I'm going to leave these 2 things alone because they don't have anything to do with what's happening right here. All right. It depends on how you think. Okay. Some people will do like I would do. You would put a 1 right here and you would distribute, where you it's called about distribute the negatives. Or some people will say, oh, well, that changed. Well, now I'm subtracting 2 and subtracting 7i. Either way you say that, you're right, because it's a different way to do the same thing. It all depends on how you're wired. And then some of y'all come up with different ways of remembering that. That's new to me, and I think it's cool because I'm a nerd. Okay. 13 minus 2, 11. All right. Negative, oh, I forgot to put the plus sign. All right. Negative 7 plus 5, negative 2, All right. So again, we're kind of tiptoeing into this. Believe it or not, this is actually a third of the section that in the textbook it did all in one day. There's no way that people can do that all in one day and truly understand it. If you can, then you're like way up there. I don't think I could have done it. I don't think I could have even done it now, much less when I was a student. All right. Multiplying complex numbers. All right. We know that I is the square root of negative 1, but I squared changes this to negative 1 because basically it's negative 1, square root of negative 1 times negative 1. Don't think too deep on this, okay? This is not a philosophical movement or something like that, or where you need to get centered with your feelings and math bonding. You just need to know I squared negative 1. Bam. Okay. So let's distribute. Well, what's 4 times 6? 24, and it's going to be negative. And we tag the I along. All right. Then we have 4i times I. This becomes 4i squared. Now, I am going to step this out a little bit so people can understand it some. Well, what did we just learn that I squared is? Negative 1. So, no, we'll explain later. All right. So this right here changes to negative 4. Now, this standard form right here, we've actually already covered it. This is the a plus bi. That's the real number first. So if we look at this, which is the number without a I in it? 4, the negative 4. So it goes first. What's the number with the I in it? The negative 24. So this is actually the standard form. Now, I don't think I can't. Well, I'll double check if it because if the directions don't say standard form, then you don't have to worry about it. But I've had students I think that's given me this on the test, and I've counted it right. Some people putting it in the standard form, like they get everything else except why do we have to do one more step? And I don't know if that's a concept thing or a teenager thing or what, but um, it's a loss for me. All right, now not too horribly bad for that one, correct? Okay. Sometimes it's real bad if, you know, because y'all happen to be here early in the morning and all of a sudden your brain was working and you got here and it goes hibernation mode. Yeah. So you did this step. You just for this I squared being -1 is a new concept. Yeah. So that's fine. You did great. If you distribute it, got that. We just got to keep on chugging a little bit. Like the little engine that could. All right. Got a couple of people writing it down, double checking. All right. So again, the I squared part, that's the new thing from what, well, the new thing of with the distributed property. Okay. So, all right. All right. This you get to choose your own adventure. We have two methods, actually three, that you could do this. Okay. You may, if you work with somebody outside of this, like somebody closer to my age, a tutor or something, they're going to use a word called FOIL. It's just another way of what we're doing. We have two methods. This is called the double distributive. I can't spell. Distributive. Okay. And this is what it means. We're going to take our ninja sword and we're going to cut this first one into two. And then we're going to multiply each of these by our back part right here. Okay. Now, some people have done this method. There's another method I'm going to show you, and you get to choose which one that you like the best. Okay. So we do like it says, we're going to double distribute. So we got to do distributed property twice. Where? Right here. That's a 7. Actually that's a 7I. It's poorly written. There we go. That's more better. All right. So 9 times -4 is -36. Okay. 9 times 7 is going to be 63. Oh, holy smokes. What was that? I said 63 and I wrote 7. Jeez. All right. -2 times -4, positive 8I. And then, so this is -14 squared. Now, look, when we're combining like terms, what did we just learn that I squared is? -1. So this, what this -1 does is it changes this whole sign right here. Okay. So this part would be 71I. And then this is 36 or -36. All right. So I've had some students that they will see this -1. The first thing they do is they go back and change this to a positive 14. Some people have to do this step. It doesn't matter. But we know we're going to have to combine these two right here. -36 and 14, -22. And then we just have 71I. Now, I can't believe I wrote that right where I need to use something later. All right. Now, the other method is a lot of people call it the box method. Some people may remember, some people may have like bad memories of it. Totally understand. Okay. And it's very similar to double distributive property. I like putting the first terms, I'll put 9 and negative 2i. Okay. And then I'm going to put these two in the back. So negative 4, 7i. So when you do that, what you when we do this, if I could get the words out, what goes in the box is what happens after you multiply them. So you're still going to get negative 36. You're still going to get 63i. You're still going to get positive 8i and negative 14i squared. Some people like the box method because they can organize it better. Okay. You're going to get the same answer either way. And what I have written in brown is what I have up here in red before I simplify it. That's it. Okay. So, it's a choose your own adventure. Now, unfortunately, I must not have clarified stuff for the test yesterday because I would show the substitution method and an elimination method, and then I had some people try to do both methods at the same time. You get to choose. Choose your method. Okay. This is the box. Step 1, you got to draw the box. Step 2, put the numbers outside the box. Step 3, multiply inside the box. Okay. So there you go. Now, we're going to work on these together. This could possibly be a your turn, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to totally leave y'all high and dry just yet. So, this is just adding. What is 9 minus 6? Or 9 plus negative 6? Either way. 3. All right. This is negative 1. All right. So, what's 7 minus 1? 6. Bam. We did it. Okay. Number 9. 3 minus 8. That would actually give us negative 5. 7 minus negative 2. So this is 7i minus negative 2i plus gives us 9i. All right, holy moly, number 10's got a lot going on. This is just a whole lot of drama over here. Okay, so let's take it a step at a time. Remember, if we have a minus sign right here, what does it do to everything on the inside? Yeah, it changes the sign. So this would be negative 1 minus I. Okay. And same thing here. This would be negative 5 minus 9i. Now, this would definitely be a time where I would actually have to get these together so I could know what the heck is going on. Now, that's just me. I know some of y'all are super smart. You can do it your own way. and get the same answer, I am behind you. You have my full support in your mathematical ventures. Okay? Now, it's kind of funny. If somebody asks you what you did in math today, like I added and subtracted and multiplied numbers that don't exist. So when you say it like that to some people, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're doing theoretical math." We're literally adding, subtracting number or adding, subtracting, multiplying numbers. Okay, it's nothing too horribly bad, but again, step by step process. Okay, all right. Number 11, and we can't see that. Bloop. There we go. All right. -3 times 10, -30. And this will be I squared. Well, we know I squared is -1, so we just get 30. All right. Now we have a distributive. Bloop. 8i minus bloop, I squared. So in standard form, that's what we're looking for. Now, for number 13, I'm actually going to stop recording because I'm going to work with my students in class a little bit. Remember, if you hadn't subscribed, hit the like, hit the bell. For my students that are watching this, please follow along with the completed notes that's in Schoology. Okay? All right. Good stuff. Good things.